Welcome back to our channel, and thank you for tuning in and thank you for supporting us. But if you are new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please encourage us by doing so that we can bring you the latest news as they happen. And together we can support our great leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, and Eastern Security Network. The Nazi propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels said that if you repeat a lie often enough, people will believe it. That is how the Fulani Janjaweed, Efulefus, and Unity beggars and Nigerian politicians have been manipulating Nigerians to come to see a big lie as the truth. These criminals control Nigeria with words such as, "We have no other country but Nigeria." This is a very big lie, because the truth is that countries come and countries goes. They come and go. The world map of countries we see today is not the same map our ancestors would have seen, say, 300 years ago. And today's world map will not be the same. Those who will exist 300 years from now will see. This is a historical fact. What we see today in Nigeria is that the indigenous people of Biafra land, South and Middle Belt regions, are doing theirs all to rush out of Nigeria, looking for education, job, and opportunities abroad. On the other hand, the same time, the Fulani foreign terrorists, jihadis, are rushing into Nigeria from the Sahel, and the Fulani Nigerian government is giving them voters card, is giving them Nigerian international passport, and they are also getting NIN numbers, and they are giving them everything to settle them. And that was why the Fulani Nigerian government closed the southern border and opened the northern border to bring them a mass. And this was what the United Nations Secretary General saw, and he was shocked. They were shocked. You see, the Fulani Janjaweed are moving in, the Southerners are moving out. This means that Nigeria is a fraud and a forced marriage that must disintegrate to allow the indigenous tribe have their own peaceful country, because the fallen Fulani terrorists wants to take our ancestral land by force. Another Fulani Janjaweed lie is that they call Nigeria a federation, but that is a big lie. A federation is a union of constitution, but Nigeria has just one fraudulent constitution created by the Fulani Janjaweed in 1999, and this is a forgery document called the 1999 Nigerian Constitution. What this means is that in reality, there is no union. There is no union. There is no union, and thus no real country called Nigeria. It is all a great make-believe situation. Those who are no longer going to tolerate the lies are insisting that their people will take charge of their ancestral land. And that is where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes into play, and other freedom fighters in Nigeria. They want Biafra to be on their own, to be restored. They want Biafra to be restored. because we can no longer take the lies of the Fulani Janjaweed, and with their inalienable right to self-determination, either from a viable country on their own, to form a viable country on their own, or form a new country with compatible neighboring ethnic nations. That is, they are seeking to correct the mistake or mischief of the 1914 amalgamation by Lord Lugard. The one obstacle in the pathway to self-determination is the indigenous politicians, like Biafran politicians, like Southwest politicians, like Middle Belt politicians. They are the number one obstacle to the pathway to self-determination. The role of indigenous politicians in maintaining the hated Nigeria that their people are fleeing abroad from, and where their people are being killed on a regular basis, need to be made abundantly clear. The illegitimate 1999 Constitution empowers armed Fulani terrorists to torture, maim, and slaughter unarmed and defenseless indigenous people. It is actually indigenous politicians who open the door to the homicidal madness of the Fulani invaders by upholding and defending that known forgery, the 1999 Constitution. If indigenous politicians did not make themselves available for the dirty work, the Fulani invaders and the Fulani Caliphate would have no power of entry. So their conquest agenda, revealed by Ahmadu Bello's declaration, would be impossible. Furthermore, it is the indigenous politicians who renew the life of that sham 1999 Constitution in their people's ancestral land. That happens via elections, when they declare winners, swear an oath of office to uphold, defend, and govern by that forgery Nigerian 99 Constitution. It is the task of indigenous politicians to push their people to elections 2023 to renew the life of the disaster bringing and death bringing 1999 Constitution upon their people, for which they will get paid huge salaries and lifelong pensions. The treasonous behavior of indigenous politicians is compounded by the fact that they hide the truth that the 1999 Constitution have been repudiated via the constitutional force majority declared by the non-violent people, NINAS movement, making Nigeria a disputed project since the 16th of December 2020, obviously hoping to wind down the clock to help make elections 2023 inevitable, or to assist the Fulani-led central government to declare martial law as advised by their terrorist Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, a Fulani Janjaweed terrorist, in a leaked memo, which he later denied, using the unchecked widespread insecurity as a manufactured reason. This is a case of indigenous people versus their politicians. Indigenous politicians are using a forgery to capture their people inside a false union called Nigeria, a union that is not the one negotiated before independence. That original union was terminated in 1966 by the military coups. The current union of Nigeria is the Fulani Caliphate country that welcomes Fulani from all over Africa to make it their home, while at the same time driving indigenous people to flee abroad by making it a hopeless and unsafe place for the true owners of the land. Before 1914, there was no country called Nigeria. Since the future for them is the caliphate agenda of conquest and Fulanization, indigenous people can decide that they will no longer accept unitary Nigeria. Their own politicians are the caliphate's agents and collaborators in their ancestral land. So it is their politicians that they must address and stop. Election 2023 is the battleground. The life of the 1999 Constitution must therefore not be renewed by having those elections. Instead, there should be a time-bound, transition where there would be self-determination, regional referendums for indigenous ethnic nations to decide whether they want to recommit their ancestral land to the Union of Nigeria or whether they want fresh, new beginning, forming new unions with compatible neighboring ethnic nations. This is exactly what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for indigenous people to flee abroad when they have their own richly endowed ancestral land is not an effective solution to the problem of treacherous politicians who uphold a hostile, criminal 1999 constitution. Indigenous people have been believing the lies that we have no other country but Nigeria. Unitary Nigeria is not their country, and rather than abandon their ancestral land, making it easier for the Fulani terrorists to grab them, indigenous people at home and abroad have the power to create proper new countries for themselves by stopping their politicians and the sham 1999 constitution that follows those traitors. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters, for watching this video, and bye-bye for now.